Hello, my fellow students. I'm glad to see you again on our lecture course in human anatomy. My name is Dmitry Starchik. I'm professor of the Department of Human Morphology in the Northwest University named after Mechnikova. And I'm going to start just after your feedback about the quality of translation. Please let me know if everything is fine with the translation. I hope you hear me clearly. Today's topic is about male reproductive system, and this is okay. Thank you, Reverend, and thank you all for responding. So let me open my presentation. Well, and here this is this is a picture of the male reproductive system of male reproductive organs. And before I begin the lecture, I would like to say that from all we have learned of the structural and functional complexity of the human body, it seems a wonder that it works at all. The fact is, however, that even with the modern medicine, we can't keep our body working forever. Unfortunately, sometimes all people die, and the body suffers various degenerative changes as we age, and eventually our time is up and we must say goodbye. It's pity, but that is a fact of life. But the good news is that our genes lives on a new containers, our offspring. And of course, we live in the future in our children, grandchildren, and we give them our genes, our information we keep in our cells by organs of the reproductive system. And it is very important, because without these systems, no way about the next generation. We would not talking about next generation. So in this lecture, we examine some general aspects of human reproductive biology, and then focus on the role of the male reproductive organ in the process of translation, our genes, our information to the next generation. We will discuss three group of questions. That is anatomy. I'd like to show you that that would be functional anatomy, external. We first take a look on the external male genital organ. Then we will discuss internal organs, and in the end of lecture the end of lecture is devoted to the development of male genital systems. All organs of the male reproductive system are shown in this figure. According to the topography where they are located, we distinguish external organs like scrotum, and external organ is also penis. Then inside of penis is male urethra, and this is internal organ, but we see the opening of the urethra in the end part of penis. Internal organs are testes. They are located with the epididymis in the scrotum. Then epididymis continues in the ductus deferens. Then seminal glands are located under the urinary bladder. The very important male organ is prostate. And some of the glands produce secret coming into their urethra, and we call those glands bulbourethral glands, number 9. According to the function, we can distinguish 4 group of male reproductive organs. The first one is the reproductive glands, and it is the main organ of male reproductive system called testicle or testis, because only this organ produces male germ cells or spermatozoa, and it also is responsible for production of sex male hormones. This is number 1. The second group is some organs conduct spermatozoa into the urethra. That is the tube systems, and those are epididymis, vas deferens, ampulla of vas deferens, and ejaculatory ducts. All of these organs are paired organ. Then some accessory genital glands producing secret for the survive sperm cells into the urethra, and as well as in the female genital organs. Those are seminal vesicles, prostate, and those bulbourethral glands, as well as small glands. We couldn't see them without microscopy, but they are located in the spongy part of the urethra. And of course, the main copulative organ, which is responsible for transform sperm into female genital organs is penis. I hope you guess that is not main but very important organ for men. Well, we start our detail description of male organ from the scrotum. Scrotum is take a look. Sorry, I have to connect my laptop because I have to recharge it. Just a second. Well, now everything is fine with electricity, and here you see the scrotum. It looks like a pendulous pouch of the skin and is visible. This is a pouch, and except skin, it consists of the muscle and fibrous connective tissue, and so the layers, there are few layers in a scrotum, and this organ is an outgrowth of the abdominal cavity, and of course it contains the male testis. The skin of the scrotum, has sebaceous glands, special sebaceous glands on the surface, sparse hair, and rich sensory innervation. That is, good innervated organ mean some of the nervous sensory ends are located in the scrotum. About the color of the skin, it looks darker than other part of the skin or than other skin elsewhere, and that is also the signs of genital organs. All external male and female organs have more pigmentation skin than elsewhere. The scrotum is divided into right and left compartments by an internal median septum. If we take a look, for example, this is the scrotum, and inside of the scrotum we could find median septum, and so this is a two compartment for right and for left testis, and the location of the septum is externally marked by a seam called the perineal rave. This is on the surface of the skin that is visible. This rave is visible. And according to the position of the left and right testis, I would say that the left testis is usually suspended lower than the right one. So the two are not compressed against each other between the thighs. It means usually, typically, normally left, I don't know why, but left testis is suspended and located lower than the right testis in the scrotum. It is interesting fact. I hope men are good informed about that, but women don't. Well, this is a picture of development of the scrotum. This is a stage, and because the scrotum is a pouch for testis, so the development of the scrotum is connected with the development of the testes. You see that testes are formed during embryonic period, during 2 months, in the abdominal cavity of the embryo and of the fetus. Then it go down and pass through the abdominal wall, anterior abdominal wall of the abdominal cavity, and form the structure we called canal inguinalis canal. Then before the birth, the testis should be depressed, should be located in the scrotum. If not, that is serious problem, and children who has this symptom, who have not testis in the scrotum, should be operated. The main question is why descent of the testis in the scrotum is possible. That is because we could find the special structure called gubernaculum. This is a ligament connected from the perineum to the testes, and this ligament doesn't grow at all. It means that during 2 months period of fetus it is 5 millimeter, and during birth it is also 5 millimeters. Because of the growth of the fetus, the connection between testicle and perineum stays short, and it pull the testis through the abdominal wall and let it come down in the scrotum. So it is very important ligament. Please remember this name, gubernaculum testis. That is a reason why the testis come into the scrotum. Because the testis depressed into the scrotum, it take all layers of the abdominal wall and form 7 layers in the scrotum. You could find you could see all of these layers here on this figure. First one is the skin. Then the layer of the under the skin is called in scrotum dartos fascia, or in Latin tunica dartos. Then it is external spermatic fascia, cremaster fascia, the muscle called cremaster, number 5. Then internal spermatic fascia, and the special peritoneum. This is a peritoneum layer, serosal layer, which we call tunica vaginalis testis. It has 2 layers, visceral, which cover the testicle, and this external layer we called visceral layer. Between these layers is a fluid. Here is fluid, which is the same as in the same fluid, serosal fluid, the same as an abdominal cavity, and this fluid helps to increase friction between testicle and scrotum layers. It is typical for serosal layers and for all organs located in the abdominal cavity. Good table where information about scrotum layers and anterior abdominal layers we can comprise, and it is easy to remember layers of the scrotum if you know abdominal wall layers. So take a look. The same skin we have, then subcutaneous fat, but in the scrotum this is a special layers containing muscle, smooth muscle cells, which is the layers that can contract the skin and elevate testicles when outside is very cold. Superficial fascia, it is the same. It is equal to the external spermatic fascia. Fascia of individual muscles of the abdominal wall is the cremasteric fascia, and abdominal muscles absolutely the same as the cremaster, because this muscle cremaster come into the scrotum from the abdominal muscles. So that is the cremaster is origin of the part of abdominal muscles, and innervated the same nerves. And abdominal fascia is the equal structure in the scrotum is the internal spermatic fascia, and peritoneum it is also the equal layers of tunica vaginal testis, and the same layers we could find in abdominal cavity and also in the scrotum. Here all scrotum and testis layers, it is not correct, layers are visible in this scrotum section, and all of name are visible here: scrotal skin, tunica dartas, and so forth. Next organ is the main reproductive male organ called testis. But by the way, it has also name in Latin didymis, but in Greek it is orchis. So inflammation of the testis in clinic we called orchitis, means the inflammation of the testis. And in the posterior position, just behind the testis, we find another organ called epididymis. It means that it is located above of the didymis, above the testis, and has the same name. It means the organ located above the didymis or testis. Take a look. First is testis. Here visible testis. This is an oval-shaped organ, and this organ, I repeat it again, that the testes are combined endocrine and exocrine glands. So this is a gland of endocrine system and as well as the male reproductive system. The testes produce sex hormones and sperm. One testis is oval and slightly flattened, about 4 centimeter long organs, and 3 centimeter. I mean, this is 4 centimeters. This is about 3 centimeters from the anterior to posterior, and about 2 centimeters wide. Anterior and lateral surfaces of the testis are covered by the tunica vaginalis, and it is visible here. Tunica vaginalis layer, 2 layers, visceral and parietal layers of tunica vaginalis. The testis itself has a white fibrous capsule called the tunica albuginea. Albuginea. Tunica albuginea. Here you see this fibrous capsula, and connective tissue septa extend from the tunica albuginea, coming into the parenchyma of the testis, dividing it. Let me show it. This is the special tissue septa from tunica albuginea coming into the testis and dividing it into 250 to 300 wedge-shaped lobules. So this structure inside of the testis, let me show it by my pens, and that is called lobula. Each lobula contains 1 to 3 so-called seminiferous tubules, slender duct up to 70 centimeter long, in which the sperm are produced. Between the seminiferous tubules are clusters of interstitial endocrine cells. So these cells produce male hormones, testosterone. And here you see these convoluted tubules or seminiferous tubules in the rat testis, and this is the section of such convoluted seminiferous tubules, and histologically it is visible that each tubulus has special capsula or special layers, And inside we see cells. These cells are sperm, forming from the spermatic epithelium. Here, all of these tubulus, all of these cells, this is the spermatic epithelium producing the spermatozoas. Here also the picture of the seminiferous tubulus, and inside we see the sperm cells. But take a look here. This is number 2. This is interstitial cells called Leydig cells, which are responsible for production of male hormones. There are 3 main hormones. Number 1 is testosterone. Maybe you are familiar with the testosterone, and you've heard about these hormones already. And the second is dihydrotestosterone and dihydroepiandrosterone. All of these hormones producing in the Leydig cells are important because they form the feature of the organism, of the male organism, like the second sexual features which are visible. Usually this is the shape of the body. This is a special hairs on the male body, etc. Hormones, male hormones are very important because they are responsible for male, so named male behaving, and the way of they do what we call to organize male behaving as well, and that is the difference between male and female. I hope you know what I mean. Next picture show the microscope, electronic microscope, scanning microscope, when inside of seminiferous tubulus, that is also this very important tubulus in the testis, visible there forming spermatozoas with the tails, and this process is also visible in the picture when different cells, spermatogenic epithelium, produce in the end, producing this typical male sexual cells, spermata. It formed from spermatogenic cells, and each spermatogenous has a half of chromosomes, half of the genital information. It is this process called meiosis. And here visible the electronic photography, and this is a scheme or a figure of the sperm structure. The main part is head, where is genetic information located. Then this is a special part we call tail, with mitochondrial structures which uses for moving of the tail. And it is not a secret that sperm are able to move just for a long distance. Next organ show here, it is good visible here, this organ called epididymis. It looks like small animal with the head, body and tail. Actually, the epididymis, plural form epididymidis, is a site of sperm maturation and storage. It adheres to the posterior side of the testis. It is visible that it's touched to the posterior side of the testis, and the superior club-like portion where it receives the efferent dactylus called head. This is the head of the epididymis, and visible the special efferentis dactylus, which connected to the mediastinum of the testis. From the rete of the mediastinus, the sperm come into the long epididymis duct inside of the. It forms in the head of the epididymis. Then we see convoluted and long duct, epididymis duct, in the body of that organ and even in the tail of. So epididymis has head, body and tail, but all parts of this organ consist of the convoluted epididymis duct, which is just imagine, this is about 6 meters long. It is very long organ. I was surprised first time when I knew about that, and I even see the result of preparation. This duct, one of our teacher in human anatomy department in military academy, she did the preparation and separated all parts of the duct. It was really about 6 meters long. The result, such as a long way where the sperm come through this long distance, that is because this duct reabsorbs about 90% of the fluid secreted by the testes. Sperm are physiologically immature when they leave the testes, but much as they travel through the head and body of the epididymis. It means such distance, sperm needs such a long distance for the to be mature cells, to be cells that are really able to come to come to the female reproductive organ and produce combination with the female cells. So this process, the transportation of sperm through the epididymis ducts takes about 20 days when the sperm became rich and mature. They also can stored in the epididymis, and the new portion come from the testis, but the mature sperm cells come into the ductus deferens. Here you see ductus deferens. That is another organ of the internal male organs. To summarize what I told you, I would say that the testis, epididymis, and ductus deferens just as a system of tubes which produce sperm and transport them to another organ, to the penis, and this is very long system of tubes. Here it's visible that all of the organs, including ductuli seminiferi contorti and rete testis. This is then ductuli efferentes testis, then ductus epididymis, as well as the ductus deferens. All of these organs are a system of tubulus or tube systems. Here the list of structures conducting sperm. The straight or the tubulus between ductuli seminiferi contorti, we call in Latin them ductuli seminiferi recti, sometimes tritubulus, come into the rete testis. That is all inside of testis. Then efferentes ductulus come into the epididymis, duct of epididymis about 6 meters long. Ductus deferens, this is about 50 centimeters long, and the ejaculatory duct, which is combined from the vas deferens and excretory duct. So all of this structure just a tubes system conducting sperm. Ductus deferens is organ coming from the epididymis and from the tail of the epididymis, turns 150 grade. It makes like a turn and becomes ductus deferens. Here you see 4 parts of this organ. First one is a scrotal part inside of scrotum. Then spermatic long part. The longest part is spermatic cords part. Then inside of inguinal canal we see the third inguinal part, that is here, but the connection between inguinal canal and the seminal vesicle called pelvic part of ductus deferens. This is if we take a look of the wall structure of ductus deferens, we find mucosa layer and three layers of muscles: internal, longitudinal muscular layer, then intermediate layer, which has circular fibers of smooth muscle cells, and external longitudinal fibers. And here is a scheme of all of these muscles, all of these layers, muscular layers, containing of smooth muscle cells. And it helps to transport sperm, like it is in the digestive tract, in our small intestine. That's the same process by contracting of these cells, and make possible to transport sperm from the epididymis to the pelvis. Here you see the ductus deferens, but in addition to the ductus deferens, we could find a lot of structure here, like veins, arteries, nerves, even some kind of connective tissue fibers. All of this structure, all of these large composition called spermatic cord. That is the combined definition, combined structure, which is connected, which connect the scrotum with the pelvic cavity. And the list of structure in the spermatic cord, or funiculus spermaticus, that is Latin word, is of course it is a ductus deferens, arteries, testicular artery of the vas deferens, testicular veins, because testicular artery and testicular veins, they connect the testicle to the aorta and to the vena cava inferior, because this organ was formed near to the kidneys. And then artery are such as a long artery, they come down and come and depress during depression of the testes. They are located in the spermatic cord and connected scrotum to the these big vessels, lymphatic vessels, nerve plexuses. All of this structure are composition. This is parts of the funiculus spermaticus. And here you see the transverse section of funiculus spermaticus, and you see a small vas deferens, but a lot of veins, a lot of arteries, testicular, a lot of layers, even the muscles we call cremaster muscles, that is the muscles connected to the testicles, and this is like it works as a levator, as it lift the testicles when it is dangerous. So especially here, interesting symptom or disease we call acute testicular torsion. This is the result when testis twists on its spermatic cord. Here you see spermatic cord here, but it is twisted, and usually this is a problem because such as a twisting make impossible normal blood supplies, and man who has such a disaster should be operated immediately, because if not, the testes will be injured, and it comes to the serious problem in the future, such as the testicular torsion may happen during sport activity, even during sleep. I hope you now are informed about such problem. Next organ of the male reproductive system is seminal vesicle. Where are they located? Here you see the ductus deferens, and their final part is called ampulla, but near under the bladder is located organ we called seminal vesicles. This organ produce special this is a paired organs, and those organs are glands in association with each ductus deferens. Seminal vesicles is about 5 centimeters long. This is 5 centimeters about, and approximately the dimension of one's little finger. It has connective tissue capsula and underlying layer of smooth muscles. And of course, this is the organ of this is the excretory gland. They produce portion of the sperm, fluid portion of the sperm, and this is about 60% of the semen, and you see the histological examination of the seminal vesicles, and it is visible that all of these epithelium cells produce fluid part of the sperm, about 60%, and this fluid is needed to provide long life of spermatozoa, because without food sperm cells may die, and this secret of the seminal vesicles produce such a food for sperm cells. Next organ, prostate, is prostate. In Latin it is prostata. This is unpaired organ which located under the bladder, urinary bladder. And here the figure, and visible the gland called prostata. Prostata means in the translation in the from the Latin means one who stands before. I don't know why such a strange name, but this organ surrounds the urethra and ejaculatory ducts. It is visible here, urethra and ejaculatory duct, and sometimes doctors called this organ like male heart, because it is responsible for main function of male reproductive systems. This is a dissected prostate here and here, and it looks like organs. We can comprise that with a small fruit of the what kind of fruit? Maybe it is a plum. Such as a strange comparison, but that's this. It looks like a plum, and located under the urinary bladder. Here is the urinary bladder, and you see also the seminal glands here, and the ampulla of ductus deferens here and here. You see that the prostate is unpaired organ, and through them, through this prostate, go the male urethra in the centrum. And here is visible also prostate gland, and these glands empty through about 2 pores in the urethral wall. So it means special pores we could find in the internal surface of the urethral wall. The stroma of the prostate consists of connective tissue and smooth muscles cells, like that is of the seminal vesicles. The thin, milky secretion of the prostate constitutes about 30% of the semen. So 60% of the fluid part of the semen is produced by seminal vesicles, but 30% produces by the prostate glands inside. Prostatic secretion contributes to sperm motility and viability, and gives another portion of food and energy for these spermatic cells. Here you see the prostate glands in horizontal section of the pelvis, of male pelvis, and that is plastinated specimen, plastinated with the epoxy resin. We did it in our laboratory. Here, this is the frontal section of the male pelvis, and also prostate gland visible here, and in the centrum is the male urethra. Let's take a look in the figure and see that inside of prostate part of the male urethra, we find special structure, special feature called seminal colliculus. Both sides of this colliculus, this is the opening of ejaculatory duct. This duct formed by 2 ducts, ductus deferens and duct excretorius from seminal vesicle, and 2 ejaculatory duct, ejaculation. I hope you understand what this process does. what the process means, and they are located in the centrum. These two openings located in the centrum of the prostate. So that's why prostate is responsible for orgasms, or process when sperm come through the ejaculatory duct and come into the urethra, and then flow out of the male body. Here the histological structure of the prostate, and this is the composition of prostate secretion, which gives the fluid into the sperm. Here the visible muscular smooth cells, that's about 45-50% of smooth muscles, and prostate glands located here. This is also about half of cells in the prostate glands. It means prostate is organ of consists of muscular tissue as well as of the special prostatic glands. And some of composition of sperm or prostate secretion is ferment system enzymes that help they help sperm leave and coming through internal female organ. By ages, the prostate increases in size, and sometimes such part of prostates expand rapidly and produce what we called the enlarged prostate, which constrict the male urethra, and urine couldn't come. This is a normal prostate, but here enlarged prostate, and you see that urine couldn't come into the urethra. That is a real problem for aged men, and they come to the urologist doctors who help them to open to fix the problem with urethral constriction. And also sometimes such degeneration of prostate cells make possible prostatic carcinoma, and that is serious problem, serious diseases, oncological diseases, which should be operated immediately. Next, coming to the another glands of the male reproductive system, we find bulbourethral glands. Their paired glands are located at the base of the penis. Here, this is two small glands in the base of the penis. Here is the penis, and they are round shaped, and have ducts parallel to the spongy urethra. Glands, I mean bulbourethral glands. Another name is Cooper's glands. They secrete a thick, sticky, alkaline mucus into the male urethra. This secretion neutralizes any urinary acid that may remain in the urethra and lubricates the tip of the penis. It means it is necessary when before the sperm come into the female organs during coitus, during sexual act, and the producing of these organs visible when the men are excited and in the process of sexual contact. Bulbourethral glands dissected and visible here. This is the histological structure of the bulbourethral glands, and all of these cells produce mucus, and that is the mucous gland. And the last but not the least organ of the male reproductive system, it is penis. Greek name is phallos. This very well-known organ in different cultures, and we would describe this organ as a tubular organ for sexual intercourse and conducting urine. Also, it is responsible for conducting urine to the exterior. Main structure includes the root. Here is the root, then body of the penis, and the final or inferior, sometimes superior part of the penis is glans, or in other words, caput. Glans is better. It's better term. Well, interesting that because of the widespread use pornography and some the sexual revolution, now is a lot of information people have about penis, and they now that is the object for plastic surgery. It is strange, but that is also a fact of life. We have even special special department, special section of plastic surgery called aesthetic andrology, and they are talking about the normal and optimal appearance of male genitals. It is strange for me because I and I consider that these organs not for public presentation. That is not public presentation organ. But you see, one of professors here, Spanish professors, I met him here in St. Petersburg. He had special feature of the normal optimal appearance of male genitals. Regarding the anatomical structure inside of penis, we could find two bodies. The unpaired body here is corpus spongiosum penis, and two paired organ here, they are combined together and fixed to the pelvic bone, to the pubic bone, and this called corpora cavernosa of penis. And together they form the typical penis. The penis has thin skin, Another layers is the special how to say fascia or special layers around corpus cavernosum and corpus spongiosum, and even you see the septum between two corpus cavernosum and visible inside male urethra. That is a transverse section of the penis. Take a look that a lot of nerves come to the penis and even arteries and veins. All nerves innervated skin, and that is good innervated area in the male body. The penis has also special muscles. There are two muscles here. One of them is bulbus spongiosum muscle and ischiocavernosus muscle. All of this bulbus spongiosum is origin to the corpus cavernosus, but ischiocavernosus is connected with the cavernosus bodies. Even except of muscles, penis has also two ligaments. The one ligament is ligament suspensorium penis. It is located here, but in the base of penis we find also fundiform ligament that fixed the radix of penis to the pelvic bones. Inside of cavernosus bodies, inside of cavernosus body, we find the compartment. Usually these compartments are small and empty, but during exciting the blood come into these cavities and made what we call erection. And this is a process regulated by nervous system and by hormones. And during sexual act, the end of sexual act is orgasmus with expulsion of the sperm. Next organ is male urethra or urethra masculinum. It is a long tube inside of organs, male reproductive organs. It starts from urine bladder and comes through the prostate, comes through the muscles of the perineum, and the longest part is located in the cavernous body, in cavernous body. So the length of the male urethra is from 11 to 18 centimeters. Sometimes it's shorter, and diameter is different. So you see the smallest, the minimal diameter is about 4 millimeter, but sometimes the divided up to 20 millimeters in diameter. Three parts. There are three parts in male urethra. First are prostatic. The second part is membranous. That is here the shortest part. Here, and the spongy part that is consists to the cavernous body. Opening internal is of course in the beginning of prostatic part. This is the connection between vesica urinaria, between bladder, and opening on the glans penis external is the end part of the fossa navicularis. This special extension in the glands of penis. Here, the narrowing shown by the red arrows, and the enlargement are by the dotted line shown by the dotted line here. 3 enlargements and 3 narrowings in male urethra. Also, we have 2 sphincters, 2 muscles located in the neck of the bladder. That is internal sphincter, consists of smooth muscle cells, and external here located in perineum, and this is muscles we control by the brain. And in the end, I'd like to show you the sources of development male reproductive organs. Here, figure showing the first sources of male and female genital organs. And in the development of the genital organs, we distinguish 2 stages. The first stage is called indifferent bookmarks. It means that it is not possible to say who it is, male or female body in the future, who it will be, man or female. That is the indifferent stage. But differentiation start later, and then from the such blue paramesonephric ducts. This is the source for development female reproductive organ, like uterine tube, uterus, and vagina. But the red structure here, it is also paired structure called mesonephric or Wolfram duct. That is the source of male reproductive organ. That is the source of development for male reproductive organ. And you see that epididymis, ductus deferens, and even the seminal glands, seminal vesicles are formed from the Wolfram or mesonephric ducts. And this happens on the differentiation stage in the embryonic development. Here is also visible a different structure from mesonephric, from the paramesonephric ducts and mesonephric ducts, blue one. In development of external organ of the external genitalia, they also have indifferent and different stages. On the third month of the embryogenesis, anterior to the cloacal membrane, genital tuberculous, here is a special name, genital tuberculous, all of this structure we call genital tubercle. Formed this tuberculum from mesenchyme, and from genital tuberculous to the anus, we find urethral groove passes, which is limited by the genital folds. Here, visible urethral groove passes and genital folds as well. Genital ridges are formed on both sides of the genital tubercle and urogenital folds here. And then in the after sexual differentiation, after indifferent stage, some of the structure form penis, and here visible forming glans penis, and the part of the spongios's body, and this is blue sources are developing the corpora cavernosa developed from the urogenital folds. And then the scrotum is the structure forming from labioscrotal swelling. They are dark blue color and forming scrotum. This is the typical development of the male genital organs. Some of anomalies we could find during false, not normal development, and it may be agenesis or hypoplasia of genital male organs. Sometimes it may be anomalies in gonad position, like cryptorchidism, which means when we couldn't see testes in scrotum. And another anomaly of the penis is the different position of opening of urethra. We call them epispodia, when the urethra opens up to the glans penis, and sometimes hypospodia, when we see the openings in the inferior surface of the penis body. Very rare anomaly called hermaphrodism. This means bisexual organ. It will be real hermaphroditism when we find male and female. We find testicles and ovarian in both in the pelvis, but more often we could find the hermaphrodites just like simulated female type of organs by real this male, and in controversy when we see male organs, but in real that is a real woman. That is all for now, my friend. I hope you found some interesting today about anatomia, functional anatomia of the male reproductive organs, and this is the time to answer your questions. Please don't be shy. Take free, and if you have question, I have a couple of minutes for you for answering. As I see, usually everything is clear and no question today. Okay, let me thank you again for your attention, and see you in next lecture. It will be about female reproductive organs. Thank you, and have a nice weekend, my friend. See you.